Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever time of the day it may be for you. You're tuned into Mother Base Radio. Thanks for joining us. I'm one of your hosts, Todd, and as always, I'm joined by Alex Capello, Benny Garza, Marcos Martinez in spirit via his office in Langley, Virginia, and on occasion, when we manage to pry his cold, dead fingers away from his keyboard and mouse from playing Smite, Sam Chapa. But before we get into the show, we're sending a shout out to 99lives.com, a great site, a great service with great music that you can purchase and use in your YouTube videos and during your Twitch streams without a worry in the world. You just need to credit the artist. Simple, huh? While we're not sponsored or affiliated with them, it's still important to give credit when credit is due. So remember, go to 99lives.com to check out some awesome tunes like this one. Enjoy the show.
I think I've stolen from Whataburger just once.
Yeah, I think I have like two or three.
I almost feel guilty about doing it.
I only take them when I get a single digit and I really want it.
47 is inappropriate to take.
47?
But yeah, we're 32 years old. We have a mortgage. We have 2 kids. We live in
Langley, Virginia.
Oh, good. Some shade being thrown.
A lot of shade is being thrown. No shade is being thrown. This week, for news, I have 6 items.
One, Statue of La Santa Muerte.
Statue of La Santa Muerte found in my cousin's house one summer afternoon. I was scared shitless when I saw that.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect it. I had no idea. I wasn't expecting it. It was tall. It was very black. And it was. First of all, it was fucking cold as hell in the whole house.
What's the dark spirit being?
Yeah. I didn't go back in. I called him and like, I'm not gonna go back in your fucking house. He's like, oh, I should have told you. Like, I'm not gonna go back in your house, man. It creeped me out.
You know, the funny thing is, because he was away, he turned off his AC.
It was cold in there for no reason.
No reason whatsoever. I didn't even cut his yard. I just didn't want to be on the property.
The yard is frosted over.
Oh my god. And this hot weather.
The dew is frozen.
Makes total sense.
Look, I'll pray to La Santa Muerte. If I can keep my, if I can keep my house cold.
You cheap fuck! Selling your soul for an AC room? I'd be in there also.
I mean, at this point, considering how hot it is, I'd probably be in the same ballpark too. Getting away from spirits, let's go ahead and get into these. Now, stop me when you want to. Granted, there's only 6 items.
Yeah, okay.
Not 5. And Capello, if you remember something that I didn't talk about, you slap me in the face and you tell me what it was. Don't slap me in the face.
Evil clown.
Evil clowns got stopped and arrested. You're gonna throw that at me.
Keep going.
So this first one isn't necessarily news. I guess it's more of a snippet of into the world of Hideo Kojima. Again, it's like these past 7 weeks. There's one thing about Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
And it never ends. It's never gonna end.
Wait, is this him distancing himself?
Yes.
And going, what the fuck? That doesn't make sense. Like, any of his other games have made 100% sense.
No, none of his games make sense.
Look, I love Hideo Kojima, but criticizing a twist is a little weird.
Yeah.
That being said, zombies in Metal Gear feels a bit off.
Well, technically, what are the things? The Exo, whatever, 5, they're technically zombies.
Skull Unit?
Yeah, they're technically zombies.
Technically, but
they're parasitic.
They're also...
They're not traditional zombies.
Yeah.
They're also... Isn't the first time that Big Boss sees them, the first time that, isn't that a prototype run for them?
Yes.
So, how are they supposed to be showing up before then?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, he was asked...
money.
Because of money, yeah, absolutely. He was asked about Metal Gear Survive during his Tokyo Game Show presentation, which happened last week. And yeah, he basically distanced himself completely from the game. I'll talk about this, because this is interesting to me. And I took this from GameRant.com. So, Kojima was asked whether he had anything to do with Metal Gear Survive, which comes out next year. To which he empathetically denied, stating that the upcoming spinoff has, quote, got nothing to do with him. Kojima then alluded how his Metal Gear games were about political fiction and espionage, and that zombies didn't fit into the vision of the franchise. And he's not the only one that talked about this. So, former Metal Gear designer, which I'm gonna... Shinkawa is his name, was on stage, and he too denied involvement with Metal Gear Survive, saying that if he worked on that game, it would have mechs in it, because that's his specialty or whatever. Like you said, Benny, like it's funny how it's like zombies don't fit into this ridiculous world. Why they don't? At the same time, it's all salt.
Yeah,
it's salt, and which I think he
has a right
to. He has an absolute right.
He exclusively has a right to the baby that he has brought onto this world being zombietized and saying, hey, look, we're making money.
I think it's time. I know, like, whoever asked him this question, I mean, that's a good scoop to have him talk about a game he no longer works on. But I think it's time that no one asks him about Metal Gear stuff anymore. Let the man do his job. At the same time, whenever his, like, contract or whatever, like, that keeps him from his NDA that keeps him from being silent ends, like, whatever he has to say about...
the floodgates open.
Yeah, I want to know what happened. Because everyone still wonders exactly what happened. Because there's always a back and forth between him not really saying anything and Konami kind of throwing it under the bus.
Then again, there's not exactly a whole lot to talk about with Kojima, being that his newest project, at least right now, there's not a whole lot he has said about it. And the other thing being his legacy, Metal Gear. Yeah. So it's 50-50 on what you'd fall on when you're interviewing him.
Yeah. In the meantime, I think it'd be a good idea. I think it'd be cool. Like, I think we might have said this a couple weeks ago. If Kojima just went away for a little bit, worked on his game, and then came back like 6 months later and was like, hey, here's a
small demo, here's a video,
whatever.
Here's a new trailer I made. Yeah, that would have been good.
Because I feel like he's in the news so much, and even if it's not about his game, it's about him. He's a reflection of what he makes, and that hype is being built up when there's nothing going on. And that's dangerous. We already saw that with No Man's Sky and stuff like that. I'm not comparing it to No Man's Sky, but just the idea of the build-up based on very little information. Which, if you think about it, with Kojima games, there's going to be hype regardless because it's made by Kojima. All right, I've had enough about that. Next story, which is a very good one. So, Persona 5 has become the best-selling Persona game in Japan to date.
It's a good sign.
Shall I keep going? This past week's Street Fighter V update...
Did you want to talk about that, Todd?
No, I already talked about what I want to talk about.
Okay.
This past week's Street Fighter V update was pulled because it made PCs vulnerable to malware.
Ooh.
Which we talked about.
We talked about yesterday. A little bit last night.
I did not know about that.
Yeah, I'll go into this for the sake of information. So the latest patch, which brought in Urien and the missions and CPU versus CPU, it had a small bit of code in it, and that is usually found in malware, and that it's something that opens up your computer. Yeah, and basically it creates a backdoor. I imagine what happened was that they didn't realize that this bit of code was shared by Trojans and worms and things like that. But once they realized it, they quickly set up a hotfix patch to remove that bit of code. And I forgot what the actual, because I had seen the actual code bit, and it apparently it's like a backdoor, basically. Yeah, it creates a backdoor.
Yeah, it's a secret rootkit that gives privileges to be able to let that stuff in. So they haven't necessarily fixed it completely. They basically rolled back, reverted to an earlier version while still having the new content. So I'm pretty sure an actual fix will come very soon. That's a very serious thing. Yeah, it might seem small, but it's not. You expect stuff like from updates from games to be relatively safe. Yeah. So hopefully no one got infected with anything. Or anything like that.
Hopefully.
Yeah. The good thing is that they caught it nearly a day after they released it, or a day or two after they released it, which is good. Do you guys remember Kingdoms of Amalur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that game? And do you remember of all the shit that studio got into after it released the game?
Yeah. I did not know it got into shit.
Well, the studio basically went bankrupt, and they owed the state of Rhode Island thousands of millions of dollars or whatever, because they were were funded by the state.
Oh, okay.
They had been in court with the state for years now, ever since its release, and it's finally coming to a close. I think it already has basically finished off. So they reached a settlement, and it's about a $2 million settlement, which is actually probably a lot less than they actually owed them.
Probably.
After so many years of legal fees, it probably wasn't even worth it.
Just give me some money and get out of my face.
And you know what? I'm not going to get into it too much because there's a lot of information about it, but it's interesting how I thought that game was interesting and I liked it a lot, but it is interesting how the legacy of that game is not because of the gameplay, but because of all the bad shit that came afterwards. So, man, do you guys remember the first time they showed it at E3?
Yeah.
It was during an E3 it was EA, right? It's EA published game, and I remember when they had the designer come out, and he was like super enthusiastic about the game that even people like in the front row were like, what the fuck's up with this guy?
That IV drip of Duvalin.
Because this old white man absolutely had Duvalin.
Man, he was hyped up so hard.
Yeah, so 38 Studios has since been closed, but there were talks about that group who wanted to get back together again, but probably not under the same name because of all the shit it has behind it.
Likely, yeah.
Right, moving on. Well, I'm glad that that's all over with, because that looks bad on game development.
Took a while.
Nearly 5 years.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I want to say, like, Kingdoms of Amalur was, like, 2010 game?
Something like that.
So, yeah, it took a while.
That game came out on PS Plus a while back, right?
Yeah.
I
think I have it licensed for it, so I want to download that.
There's also a version on PC, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
I think it was supposed to like the next game was supposed to be an MMO. I think that was the original intention, which we'll never see at this point. I always thought it was a more intricate Fable,
pretty much
mechanic wise.
Yeah,
the story of Fable is I think way more interesting. Moving on. This is not really big news, but as someone who likes these kind of games, I think it is. Soma, which is the horror game from the guys who did
Deep Sea Horror Survival.
Yeah, for the guys who did Amnesia, finally turned a profit as it nears 500,000 copies sold a year after its release. So that may not seem like a lot, but actually, and I'm not going to get into it, it sold more than Amnesia did. And that's because Amnesia, because of the YouTube popularity, became a very popular and high-selling, best-selling game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. Did you guys ever get a chance to play it?
It's considered an indie?
Yeah, I mean, these are all indie games.
Yeah, it's definitely a smaller scale game. Yeah. I got to see some of it. I haven't actually played it myself, but yeah, I mean, it's cool that they're turning a profit.
Yeah,
especially since it's a smaller, game.
Yeah. For sure. And I think that, so far, Soma has never been on sale. So it's been selling at the regular price, which I think is like $30.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Once it goes on sale, they'll make more money.
Absolutely, which is what happened with Amnesia. Mm-hmm. That game's always on sale. All right, and the last story is about Blizzard. Once again, Blizzard's in news. This is a little more prolific, I guess. Blizzard is dropping, or has dropped at this point, the Battle.net name.
I have one question about this.
Sure.
Does that mean that the interface is going to change? The Battle.net application thing?
No.
No?
They're just changing the name.
Just changing the name?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
a little sad. I heard it was like 2 weeks away from the 20th anniversary of Battle.net, and they're not even going to let that happen. They're just going to cut it.
They should have changed it on the anniversary.
That would have been ideal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But now it's Blizzard. What?
Tech?
Blizzard Tech.
Yeah. Tech, yeah, .tech.
So, since this is the last news story, we can talk about it a little bit. So, according to Blizzard, they said that it would be transitioning away from Battle.net name when referring to its online multiplayer service because there was occasional confusion caused by the name. I don't know about that. I think everyone and their mother who plays a Blizzard game knows what Battle.net is.
But it could be for the non-versed.
When I first started using Battle.net, and this was actually not very long ago because I started using it for Hearthstone. Yeah. And Hearthstone isn't a very old game.
No, it's not.
Back then, for World of Warcraft, you didn't need the Battle.net launcher. And I didn't, I played some of Diablo, but, a lot, not any, online stuff or anything. So, Battle.net, when I first got into it, I always asked myself, why is it called Battle.net? Why not Blizzard.net?
Sure.
It didn't really make sense to me. And, I got used to it over the years, obviously, because now I use Battle.net for everything.
Basically.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's not... it's not a bad change that they're doing.
Oh, no. I definitely don't think it is. I just think it's strange, like, they talk about how people have confused it, and you're right, confused. Like, maybe people who are newer coming into some of the games, which makes sense for them from the business perspective, I guess. But it's like, well, everyone else, though, I mean, it's been more than 5 years. Like, it's been nearly, 20 years, I think you said? Or something like that?
It's been a while. Yeah.
So, I think people know what it is already.
The people who know what it is are very much the old school people.
Exactly.
But I don't know, like Blizzard.tech is a fitting name. Like I said, I always wondered why it wasn't
Blizzard.net
Battle.net or like Blizzard. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, they're just changing the name. Like it's still going to be the same service, does the exact same thing.
Yeah, so Blizzard said that existing Battle.net tech will continue to serve as a central nervous system for Blizzard games. So yeah, it'll be referred to currently as Blizzard Tech. So just for reference sake, or for history's sake, Battle.net launched in 1996 along with the original Diablo. It's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago.
Nearly 20 years.
I was crazy. 4 years old when Battle.net launched.
I was 5.
When the Diablo first came to be.
Well, that's it for news. So, what did I miss? Is there anything that I missed that I skipped over?
I can't.
What was that clown?
That's for a horror podcast, maybe.
There's I can't think of anything because I looked through significant.
Since Thursday, I looked through everything, and there was nothing I thought that was really worth talking about to an extent. So those are the stories that I picked for this week. It's been a slow week.
It's been a little slow,
and it'll pick up soon because of all the game releases coming out and stuff.
We are getting there.
Yeah.
October.
I mean, we're already in September.
In fact, we're gonna hit October in next week.
No, week after next. Oh, next week. It's already the 25th today. Today's 25th. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the thing.
October will finally bring us cool weather.
I at least I would hope so. It was supposed to rain today.
It hasn't rained yet.
No.
So right before we started the podcast, I had a warning: lightning likely today.
We saw lightning last night when we were outside.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Tri-lightning, I think it's called.
Well, that is it for the news. 6 stories, 6 destinies. Speaking of, have you
Rise of Iron? Yes, sir. I played.
Oh, you played it? Okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit then.
It's not bad.
Okay.
I kind of like it.
All right. Well, let's talk about what we've been playing. Capella and I talked about talking about Bioshock a little more. Mm-hmm. How about you finish the game?
Finish it completely.
Compose your thoughts a little bit, because I do want to get into it deeper than just talking about it at a base level. Yeah. Finish it when you get a chance.
Did somebody get it?
I just need my fucking game to stop crashing.
Sure. Hopefully that patch is coming in soon. I think. This week. Sammy has not. I'm going to lend him my copy when I'm done with it.
No,
because he's kind of got money tied up in other things. But yeah, I told him that after I finished Bioshock 2, that I lend him because the first disc has Bioshock 1 and 2. The third one's Infinite. So
okay.
He can play that, and then I'll play Infinite when I'm done with it.
Somebody's busy funding research and creating an actual unicorn.
Sure. I mean, if that's what he wants to do with his spare time, then he's more than welcome to do that.
He actually lied to you. He's never on Smite. He's always wearing a lab coat, researching the unicorns.
Does the unicorns shit out Smite codes?
It might. It just might.
Or cookies?
I think it barfs cookies.
I don't know if I'd eat those.
I mean...
You would, wouldn't you?
I'd give it a try.
Like, what if unicorn poop were a delicious treat? What if it was legit, like, a delicious...
Listen.
Like, ice cream?
Well, what if it was like that one... What if it was like that one commercial where it, like, just vomits awesome tech? It'll just vomit a 64-inch screen TV.
That's more than welcome to be on my wall.
Blah. But it's covered in unicorn vomit.
I mean, I can clean it.
Blah.
I can clean it.
Fresh Vita. Blah.
Fresh sailing bags mixed with Nuvaline.
I don't know if that's...
Blah.
No, it's not.
So basically just like pudding in water.
Well, Benny.
Mashed potatoes in a saline bag.
That's an interesting game.
How to kill yourself.
Thanksgiving overdose.
1,000 ways to die. Injecting mashed potatoes into your veins.
I mean, that's pretty creative. It's very colorful. Ben, What have you been playing this week, if anything at all?
Oddly enough, I've been playing Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So earlier in this last week, during the weekend, we went to visit Somni at his work location in some unknown region of the North Americas. And I bought Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story and Mario and Luigi Dream Team, I believe it was called.
For 3DS?
Yes.
Okay.
The first one being for normal
DS, and the second one being for 2DS.
Yes. But those two are supposed to be like directly connected storyline wise.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
And these are the Mario and Luigi ones. Those are RPG. Those are like Mario RPGs.
Yeah,
right?
they're the goofy turn-based RPGs.
Yeah. I like those.
They're charming.
Yeah.
Like I love Luigi.
Yeah.
Like Luigi's so fucking goofy and
He
shit.
is.
Like in the very beginning, there's a part where like there's a court happening and everyone's showing up, and Luigi shows up and Mario also, and they sit down. And almost instantly, Luigi falls asleep at the fucking table, and like shit is happening, and like buildings are being torn down, and Luigi is rock solid asleep. It's like, you know what? Right there.
The last Mario and Luigi game I played was on it was for Game Boy Advance, but I played on the Micro. I just don't know which one came out on the Advance.
Something with beans.
Possibly, but it was a lot of fun.
I think that is the one with Fawful in it.
Beans.
Well, Fawful is the antagonist.
Possibly. It was a good game. I
It's a
finished
green
it.
bean. No, wasn't it a lady?
No,
I don't
there is
remember.
one where it's like the bat chick,
Yeah, she has like a weird, almost like a heart-shaped hat. Like,
but that's another one.
oh, okay, then I'm thinking of a different one.
Cool. I finished that one like in 3 sittings. That was sick. And I was just in bed all day, and I finished it like in 3 or 4.
It's fun.
Yeah.
There's an interesting thing to that mid-maxing game, specifically in it, where when you level up, all your stats get a general boost, and then you get to pick one general stat to get boosted. But it's a roulette wheel, and it'll be filled with 1s, 3s, 5s if you're lucky, and then, and you just press it, choose one to stop it. And if you roll a 1, well, guess what? You got a 1 bonus on your stat of your choice. If you get a 5, hot damn, you feel like the hot shit. And that game's fun, man. It's a nice little palate cleanser to
Anything else that you're playing?
Yeah.
I think if anything, those games in the Mario franchise are very different from like everything else.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I keep thinking about Paper Mario, but Paper Mario is still a platformer.
There are some
relatively.
Paper Mario generally is a turn-based
Is it?
RPG. Yes.
Okay. So
But
actually
it is separated from the Mario and Luigi line of RPGs.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
Yes.
It's separated until
Paper Jam.
Paper Jam. Yeah.
Which is that the most recent one?
It's almost the most recent one.
Isn't the newest one like Sticker Star or something?
Yes,
Yeah.
and then it's Color Splash, which is about to be out or already out.
I
I think it's going
out
to come out soon, like in November maybe.
I think
possibly.
That's on 3DS also.
And then there's like another one. There's like Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. It's like you yourself. It's Mario and Luigi. Then there's Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, and you make a
What's that one you said?
mishmash.
Bowser's Story? Is that
Bowser's
Bowser's
Inside
Inside
Story.
Story.
Yeah, and you got that one?
Yeah.
So like a couple years ago, that one was like stupid hard to find. We never had it. People always asked for it, but we never had it.
I did look for it in the store close to my house, and they're like, no, we don't have it.
Yeah.
And out of pure dumb luck, while we were visiting some music, by chance, do you have these two games?
Yeah,
and they're like, yeah, we have them both. Awesome, I'll take them both. And I was like, yeah, it was a nice little score.
Usually, like, I think quick tip as someone who used to work in these places, in game retail, if you're looking for something specific, it's better to go to like a strip mall kind of store, because if you go to one like in a mall or something, everything like that place is going to be empty you're not going to find what you need.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually the stores that are kind of out of the way and the people don't normally visit, or like places that have multiple stores. Like that part of McAllen has like 3 of them.
Quick, oddly enough, that game didn't work. Bowser's
really?
Inside Story.
Oh no!
I had to clean the pins with alcohol, and it did pick it up. And Capello was there. Like, I was bummed out that it didn't work. I was like, shit. And like I cleaned out the pins, and it started working.
Cool.
Good.
Oh, the Dream Team has one of my favorite songs in video gaming. Like the music in Dream Team is really good.
I haven't started it, but mainly because I want to get through Bowser's Inside Story first. Yeah, I saw reviews for both of them, and both of them got like top-notch reviews.
Yeah,
They're both good.
They're very well liked and year. I don't remember the last time we talked about a Nintendo game being played, like that we've been playing.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So have you been playing Destiny also? Because the Rise of Iron
Yes.
did come out
So
recently.
Rise of Iron also came out, and I started playing that. And I mean,
It's more of the same. Just like honestly, is it more of the same?
It is more, and it should be said. I don't go to Destiny looking for a rich
Something
story.
deep.
It does have story, and like it's a nice thing that what's happening. So pretty much there is a ancient kind of like nanomachine thing that's dormant underground, and it's called Siva. And a long time ago, there was an order of guardians called Iron Lords that sealed it.
And protected.
And the last Iron Lord is one of the characters that appears. And for a while, he didn't have any lore to him. He was just a guy that appears on weekends, and he has an event called the Iron Banner.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. Which is a PvP event. It's a Crucible event.
Yes.
Okay.
And you play to get Iron Banner equipment and armor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now they chose to expand on him. And he was an Iron Lord. He's the last of the Iron Lords, and all his friends fell in a large fight trying to trying to get Siva under control. And all the other Iron Lords decided, like, we're not gonna fucking do this. Let's just seal it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they did. It's fairly interesting. I do like the fact that it wasn't planned. Like I remember it was one of the houses from the Fallen that ran into it, and they were like, "Holy shit, this is amazing!"
Mm-hmm.
And look, so there are some people called Fallen Splicers, and they're essentially people that just cut off their legs and put They just amputate themselves with technology.
Okay.
And now they started amputating themselves and adding Siva onto it. And Siva, like, you could say it's kind of like the giant obelisk in the Odyssey?
In 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It forces evolution to happen.
Okay.
So they're in that weird step where, like, they're becoming advanced at an increased rate.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, they decided, hey, let's go get some of the other people, and these were the Hive.
Mm-hmm.
And they started doing hard experiments on them, just injecting them with Siva and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the first branch of the story is you trying to stop Siva, and the Iron Lord guy is obsessed with not stopping people that have Siva, but stopping Siva. Siva is the problem.
Yeah.
People that have Siva are a side effect.
Yeah.
You forget about them. Right now, we need to close Siva.
Eliminate.
He is
Siva.
obsessed with it. Like, this will bring about the end, and you do it, and you become an Iron Lord. Congratulations, here's a free exotic.
Like how it comes down to that.
Yeah.
Does this take place on Earth or on another planet?
All on Earth.
Really?
So, the actual map, you remember a giant wall?
Yes, I remember.
So they just straight up fucking destroy a section of the wall,
and they go through it.
they push through that. And
Is it a big area or?
it's a decent sized area,
Okay.
but it's just one new area,
Yeah.
and it's called the Plaguelands in Russia, known Russia.
Because Russia is the only place that exists on Earth.
On Earth, apparently.
Well, I mean that we are able to visit.
We're just picking
Now,
up the
it should
game.
be noted the giant wall goes around a large section of Russia.
Mhm.
For some reason, everything outside. Well, not everything outside, but like that area, like the wall got destroyed and we went through it. That area is called the Plaguelands. We don't know what's around.
Around everything else.
Yeah, and the reason, their explanation for it is the traveler stopped on top of Russia. That's the only place that's safe. Darkness consumed everything,
Everything
according
else.
to them. And
Like that stuff does, like, that's, I think, goes back to like Bungie doing really great world building, and it does sound interesting, but it feels like, man, it took them that long to get to that.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like something that should have been at least mildly explained a year ago or something.
Mhm.
That's just
And
me,
well,
though.
the thing is, that's apparently all in the cards. Which I don't know about you, but I'm too fucking lazy to load up.
and you have to go online to look
Yeah,
at
like,
stuff.
do you want to? No, it shouldn't be like that. If anything, they should have had like a book, quote unquote,
Sure.
in the
Within
the
the
main
game.
hub or something. You walk
Or
up
like
to
audio
it.
diaries or something.
Yeah, and like they're collectibles. You unlock them. Like literally in the game, you do unlock the cards. They should have been unlockables, and they're kept in a giant room
Yeah.
inside
That could have
the
been
main hub.
interesting.
And you walk in, you get to read lore if you want, but don't make us go somewhere else.
Yeah.
That was
That's
major
the
flaw.
That's the problem. That's
But I
one
mean
problem with the game.
that's been running since the start of the game.
Yeah, it's nothing new. again, it's like you said, you go to Destiny for gameplay, not for story.
Yeah, it's a good feeling game, and I mean, I had it a long time ago as my quote unquote podcast game, and that's what it is. Like I'll snap a fucking podcast and play the game, and just grind out light levels or just do whatever. Like right now, I'm still doing side story missions, and technically still the main storyline, but the main storyline, quote unquote, has been resolved. Okay. Being you stop Siva. But now we're stopping the side effect, which was everyone else that has Siva, we need to stop that. Because they might not have a connection to Siva anymore, but what if they find a way to start replicating it? Or what if by injecting the hive with Siva, they start replicating it by just spawning themselves with Siva? Yeah. And so that's it's a big fear that's in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely grandiose, I think, in a lot of senses. That's what Bungie's really good at, so... That's cool. I mean, I think if anything, I remember, what was it, 2 years ago when it launched, that Activision said, oh, this is a 10-year game, remember? Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was like, we'll see. And then after I played the alpha, I was like, that's funny. Yeah. But if anything, it's not necessarily about the game lasting 10 years, it's about the effect that it has on everyone else. Because we look at this, we're 2016 and we're still talking about Destiny. Yeah. Regardless of whether
I've been keeping track of time, but this should also be noted, this is the first expansion that did not appear on PS3 or Xbox 360.
That's true.
There is no more support for them.
That sucks for people that bought it on that console, though, and have wasted, not wasted, but have put in a lot of time into that version of the game.
To defend, or to be on Destiny's side, they also released 3 expansions, one being a large, a quote-unquote major expansion. Yeah. And, I mean, they gave it a shot. Yeah. I guess at this point they're like, okay, maybe it's time you guys jump over to the newer system.
It's true. At the same time, I think a lot of people will wonder, well, why did they even launch on last-gen systems if they were eventually going to cut off? Well, because there's a bigger install base.
Because back then there was,
Well, there's still, it's still a massive install base. Yeah. So, of course they would want to.
Who doesn't have a Xbox or a 360 or a PS3 just sitting around?
Makes me wonder, not necessarily related, but it makes me wonder when they're going to eventually come up with a PC version.
I would be interesting, but I don't think they're going to.
Really? That's so strange to me.
Because, Bungie sort of abandoned PC completely.
A long time ago, yeah, that's true. But Activision would want to maximize their profit for the game.
I mean, the most recent one, the Halo that appeared on PC was by 643 or 643 something.
343.
343. There you go.
But that's
643.
643. No, that new thing is basically just Forge, which you can still have multiplayer matches in it, but it's not the full Halo experience. Mm-hmm. So I think eventually, there would absolutely be an audience for Destiny if it came to PC. That'd be the next grind obsession for people on PC that maybe are tired of everything else that's not out on PC, but that's out on PC already, and maybe they don't want to buy a console to play Destiny. Because I know so many streamers that stream exclusively on PCs, they don't play anything else, but Destiny is something they stream, and I know streamers that bought a system just to play Destiny because it's not on PC. Mm-hmm. And even though we talked about this a million times or a long time ago, the interface for the game feels like it should have been on PC, because it's a clicker.
The mouse and the little...
It was this should probably make sense, a lot more sense with a keyboard and
mouse. Hey, maybe it could have been that at one point they were thinking about it, and then they did a back down, or they just decided, hey, you know what, maybe we just leave it on systems or something.
I think at some point it will come to PC. Maybe Destiny 2 or whatever.
Who knows? Maybe once the quote-unquote the 10 years are up,
all of that on PC.
They just released Destiny the complete collection now on PC.
Experience, yeah. Have they talked about when Destiny 2 is going to be a thing? Is that next year? Because this new, because Iron, the Rise of Iron thing is supposed to be the last one. The last.
They've been talking about Destiny 2, but nothing concrete has come out. Yeah.
I would imagine that it would make more sense if it was just a digital upload, like a digital continuation. But they'll probably put it on disc anyways, and repackage everything else that's previously existed and put it into Destiny 2.
And I don't know
what you get to come back to Russia.
What would they
the only place that exists?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they've already thought this through.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. I just don't know. For you guys, which you guys are fairly towards Destiny,
very much.
What would you let's pretend a trailer to 2 comes out. What would be something that would catch your attention?
If all of the planets were Russia, just nothing. It's like you go
visit Russia
in
in Venus, visit Russia in Saturn.
I think for me, Benny, it would be I want the storytelling to be better.
I would want them to integrate.
No,
the
I'm
lore.
not gonna lie. They've definitely stepped it up, but compared to the vanilla,
Yeah,
they put way more voice acting into it. It's definitely a lot better on how since like Taken King and Rise of Iron, they put more work into it. Definitely.
I think that it's interesting how that's the first thing we talk about when it comes to the shooter, but because it's Bungie, and I want story from them because they know how to do that stuff.
Now thinking about it, Siva does feel very Flood-esque.
Sure.
In that it's a thing that is independent on its own and it's trying to spread.
I think a lot of their design for characters has definitely been influenced by the previous stuff. Like, well, for this in particular, for like the early Destiny stuff, a lot of it reminded me of Marathon, which was like one of the first games that Bungie did out of the gate for Mac, and it was originally for Mac and on PC. And a lot of those designs reminded me of the characters from what's the one you said, the Hive, right? The Hive is a race.
Yes.
Those characters. Those, I remember when they first showed them off, they definitely reminded me of one specific type for Marathon. But I think that the problem I had with when I did play the game is that it felt so barren. Like, it felt super barren. It felt like there was, like, yeah, I understand it's a game about grinding. I understand that, but I wish there was just more to the world, in my opinion. Granted, I haven't played any of the rest of the game, so that problem has probably been solved.
It should be noted that you and myself and I think Sam even played the beta.
The alpha, technically, whatever.
Alpha, which was technically a patrol mission, which isn't the most fun ever.
No, it's not. It definitely wasn't. I think at first I was definitely part of the hype though, because I was excited. Like I was like, this is something new from Bungie. I'm excited about this. I think that aside from that, maybe move. Okay, this is the thing. Move away from Crucible. Move away from Crucible and
from their multiplayer.
Yeah, I think just concentrate on the co-op experience.
I thought they would do that.
I know, but that's just something that I think that for me personally,
you want a more storyline single player, maybe not online.
Because Crucible, like, it's just okay.
I mean, it's a multiplayer thing in any game.
And it's going to exist. Yeah, it's going to exist. But I think that if they moved away from that and concentrated their efforts on everything else, I think it would make it a better experience.
You know what? I think I would be interested in playing like a single player Destiny, like a Halo,
like a traditional, like linear.
Absolutely. I think that would make me interested in the franchise. As it is, I just can't. I just can't see myself playing.
I also hate the sense of its pseudo open world.
Yeah,
because it's not really an open world. You know,
it's Russia.
It's load in a large map Russia, and you do something in a section of
it's a sandbox. It reminds me a lot of Rage. You remember Rage? The It game?
Little bit.
So it was like the post-apocalyptic kind of game, and it was interesting, but
wing sticks are OP.
They sold that game as an open world game, but it was a facade.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a sandbox. It was like this weird little area that you can explore, and then you can see beyond the horizon and think, I could go there, but you really can't. It looked beautiful though. Holy shit! That was It Tech 5, and that's what Doom runs on now, and like Wolfenstein and stuff. And those games look pretty good.
Yeah.
If you get the wing stick that separates into more wing sticks, you can just wipe out an entire map worth of enemies.
That game felt more
wing sticks.
That's what Rage 2
is just going to be called Wing Stick.
Wing Stick's the game.
I think that game in particular definitely felt more like Mad Max than any game I've ever played.
Yeah, it has a really Mad Max feel to it.
More so than like Fallout and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it also had racing.
Yeah.
It was so weird. It's super weird. Actually, the cars in that thing reminded me a lot of those in Borderlands. They felt like you were kind of floating in them.
Oh, kind of like buggy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, like they were like on the ground, right? Because the ones at Borderlands are floating, but they felt like they were floating. It's the physics of it or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. Like, I think Capella's right. If it was a linear shooter like they used to do, I'd probably be interested. And you know what? Considering that this is going to be like this big, according to them, this big thing, maybe something like that would make sense. Like somewhere between think of it like a prelude to Destiny 2. Hey, we're going to release an 8-hour kind of straightforward shooter as a bridge between Destiny 1 and 2 or something like that. I don't know. That'd be cool. I'd probably play that alone, and that's it. I actually, in a lot of ways, I kind of wish they would have continued with Halo. Now I think about it, but I understand why they didn't, because they spent 10 years doing Halo, and they probably wanted to do something
And
else.
they said, now let's do 10 years
Now
on
let's do 10
something
years.
else.
That's how Bungie works. It's 10 years at a time for them.
Yeah.
So what if by the end of Destiny they go, we don't want, nah, we're not gonna do Destiny 2. We're gonna do.
Here 343 have our other game.
They're just like big brothering their games now.
Just-
I would like to see them do an RPG, like something like get away from like
Now,
gun
you see
stuff.
RPG. What do you mean, like turn-based RPG, or what are we talking about?
No, like a full scale, like traditional kind of Western RPG.
We're talking about Fallout.
I mean, I don't know, something more like a Mass Effect or Dragon Age, something like that. I think they'd be like, that's where their storytelling would shine, because they would need to shine.
Yeah.
I will, because I have so much faith in their storytelling.
You want to put them on the spotlight and
Absolutely.
say make story.
Yeah, because they're so good at it. Granted, Bungie staff has changed immensely since 2001. So
a lot of their people,
Are no longer
a lot of
there.
their writing people moved over to Blizzard.
yeah, that
Yeah.
happened too. And Joe Staten, who wrote Halo, he's the lore master of Halo. He now works for Microsoft.
Yeah.
Which I thought when that happened like last year. I thought, so he's going to work for 343 and work on Halo stuff, but they haven't confirmed. Oh no, he's working on something for HoloLens.
Yeah.
Or something like that, yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, you kind of made me interested with everything you talked about. 'Cause that sounded interesting to
Look,
me.
I'll tell you this. If you want, I have 3 characters. All 3 of them are Rise of Iron ready. You can go over and do a story on one of them. I'm
I'll
doing the
check it
story.
out.
I'm doing the
Yeah.
storyline for my first character.
Uh-huh.
I like boosted my 3rd character, which was my hunter. I still have a Titan and a hunter, and they're both ready to start the story. I just haven't done it because I'm concentrating on my main.
Your main character.
Yeah.
I'll consider it.
Dude, you're
Just-
more than welcome to come over and just do the story only for that. If
And you can
want.
play that alone, technically.
I mean, that's what I did.
Yeah,
The only time you run into people is when you're in the hub,
yeah.
and at that point, I mean, the most you'll wave or dance with someone,
Yeah.
and then
Or-
do whatever you have to do. Go back into space because
Yeah.
you want to go do a mission.
Can you do trading with people? Or that's just the shopkeepers?
This shopkeepers. Man.
So there's no player versus player v player like trading. or
Trading,
anything?
no,
I wonder if that's something they would introduce in the future.
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But
And then maybe have an auction house, and then it'll go all downhill from there.
oh boy,
Never mind.
that might go down real quick.
That would probably go down really quickly.
As long as it's not a real money auction house, you're
It's
you're
in-game
good.
currency.
You're good.
Thing is, they have
Multiple
different currencies because,
yeah.
like, there's Xur. Xur only does business with you through strange coins. There's a character that does motes of like the Stranger. No, it's not the Stranger. It's the voice of the Traveler or something like that. And even at that, he does Glimmer. Glimmer is the main currency. There's also a new item that appeared. It's called Silver Dust. Silver Dust you use for weapon
snorting?
skins
Oh, okay.
and for purchasing the new Iron Gala Horn. No, I'm sorry, the Iron Gala Wing, I think it was called, which is a ride. Catch a ride. Catch a ride.
Is
Yeah.
Gala Horn a rocket launcher?
Yes.
And that's like the most OP weapon in the game or something?
No, it got very infamous for being very difficult to obtain.
Mhm.
And so, as of Taken King, it was like pre-order now and get a free Gala Horn. And now it's pre-order now and get an Iron Gala Horn, which is like a reskinned Gala Horn. And when you start this game, you get it.
Automatically?
No.
You have
So
to work
there's
for
a
it.
catch to it. They give it to you and it has 3 damage.
Oh.
3 damage, yeah.
Huh.
And on the top it says you can't use it until you get the year 3 normal Gala Horn. And through doing the story, you get to a point where the Iron Lord, the main guy, he says, it's time we make you a Gala Horn. Because it was like, the Iron Gala Horn was like a signature weapon for Iron Lords. And there's also your exotic greatsword and the big-ass 2-handed axe that you can use in throughout the story. And so, to make your Gala Horn, they make you find medallions of the Iron Lords that have been lost. And you scour all of the Plaguelands, or not just the Plaguelands, a couple other areas for the medallions. and you essentially melt down the medallions and make your legendary weapon out of that. So like it's interesting.
I might consider that soon. Just dude. Also, just for like, because I don't necessarily shun the game, but I have a lot of critique for the game that I haven't played a lot of. But I would like to have more context, if anything.
And you specifically, since you haven't done anything, you can do a vanilla mission, and you can do
to see the differences.
Yeah, to see the difference. Like they definitely pushed a lot harder.
Yeah,
and specifically, you will never actually do true vanilla because they already removed Dinklebot out of it.
Yeah, they have Nolan North.
They have Nolan North, so you get to do the vanilla story with Nolan North, which is definitely a bit different.
Okay, yeah, I would imagine more emphasis and not deadpan like
English. Instead of there are wizards.
Wizards live on the moon.
No, it's there are wizards on the moon.
Yeah, at least there's this enthusiasm or shock in there. Not, God, kill me. I did this for the paycheck. Somebody please help me.
Well, I think also at the same time, which has probably been talked about to death, I mean, Activision just wanted to pay someone a lot of money who's famous.
Yeah.
And Peter Dinklage is kind of a thing.
Yeah.
He's very popular right now. Cool. Well,
again, if you want to go play, I have a Titan and I have a Hunter.
I don't remember two classes. I think my original class was a Hunter. I think and it was a human character or whatever.
An awoken Hunter and a human Titan.
Oh, that's right. Because technically the Guardians are dead, right?
Everyone is dead.
That's fucking weird.
All Guardians are dead.
Also interesting concepts.
Which is funny because Exos get a workaround.
Yeah.
Exos are just robots.
So they're dead anyways.
Yeah.
Technically dead.
They were never alive to begin with.
Yeah.
Also, Cade 6 is...
an Exo.
He's Nathan Fillion. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh, man.
They've worked with him before.
In Taken King, you get to talk a lot to Cade 6, and Cade 6 is a fucking little shit. Yeah. I like him. Because he's always doing workarounds. Like, he's a prestigious character, and he sits in the front with everyone, and like... He fucking hates it there. He just wants to go to his hangout, but he can't because he has to do work up at front. Mm-hmm. And like he hijacks somebody's ship and installs invisibility cloak and a bunch of bullshit. And it's like, oh, this is experimental. I'm not driving it. You are. Mm-hmm. And then you use it to crash land into the super juggernaut ship that is the Taken King's main ship. Mm-hmm. And that's how you start some of the stuff for the Taken King. But yeah, he's cool.
How much is, for anyone listening, how much is the expansion?
The Rise of Iron is $30.
Oh, okay, that's not terrible.
No, it's enough.
I thought it was going to be like full price.
Not just that, you could buy the whole game, but like vanilla up until Rise of Iron for $60. Essentially, just buy the game and they'll give you everything.
If someone's really like want to get into that, that's probably a good deal.
I mean, since I didn't know the Rise of Iron was the last one, it's the whole game for $60, which I would imagine would have gone for like $120, and you get a bunch of bullshit.
It's 2 years worth of content.
Yeah.
I want a Wizards on the Moon shirt so I could wear it ironically.
We can ask Sammy if he can make us a Wizards on the Moon shirt.
You might be able to.
You just need that 300 by 300.
But are you gonna have the bot? Are you gonna have a picture of Peter Dinklage?
You could have the image of the ghost, which is the little Dinklebot right here.
Because there's also the 3 Ghost Moon. That I don't know if you've seen that shirt. It's a picture. You know how there's the 3 Wolf Moon. Mm-hmm. Shirt. Well, it's a shirt with the 3 ghosts.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Look, there's one looking up like that. There's one looking straight. There's one from like the
oh my
profile.
God, that sounds so good.
And then there's the it's a funny shirt. I want it. I don't even play Destiny or care about playing Destiny, but I want that shirt because it's funny.
That sounds so good. Actually, you know what I want? I want the both of you to play the Rise of Iron and just like talk over it. Just
dick around.
Yeah. Even if it's like a 15-minute like short episode of you guys just going, what the fuck is going on? Oh, now we're using swords. Okay.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't expect that.
The entire time that's Todd going, I love you, Northbot.
Northbot, help me.
So is Destiny really what the center of No Man's Sky is? It's
he goes to the middle of the universe in No Man's Sky, and it's just you play Destiny.
Yeah,
well, that's what people some people wanted. Like, if somehow you were able to forcibly make Destiny and No Man's Sky have a child, where You
Yeah,
space ride,
sure.
and then you find a planet that's inhabited by people that know, hey shit, it's an alien, and they can fly and we can't, so we better fucking fight or else we're gonna get taken over.
That's what I wanted Mass Effect to be.
That would have been cool.
That's what I want the new Mass Effect to be, which I know it's not going to be.
It's
It's a
not.
AAA game with an agenda. Capello,
Hello.
hi. I just smiled at him audibly. What have you been up to this week? Which I think technically we talked about this extensively last night, but for the sake of people who weren't able to talk to you last night.
So, this week I went a bit back into BioShock.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately had the same problem that I had last week, where at some point I decided to save, and the game just crashed on me during my save, reverting me back to a previous save that was like far before I wanted to. Which, now it's sort of, in an RPG how you're supposed to save very, very often.
Constantly. And BioShock is kind of the same thing.
In BioShock it's kind of the same thing.
Especially before getting into like a fight with a Big Daddy or something.
And I try and save often, but like I just get it so immersed at some point that I'm like, I just want to keep going.
Absolutely.
So I was at the begin. I was right before going to Fort Frolic, which I believe is the Tea Gardens.
I was about to say Neptune's Bounties before the Tea Gardens.
Yes.
So Arcadia.
So, yeah, Arcadia. So I was maybe mostly when my save reverted when I went to check where I was. It was probably halfway through Arcadia.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't that
far
bad.
back.
Yeah, but it was still, I had got stuff done.
Yeah.
So aside from that, I'm really enjoying my like 4th or 5th playthrough of BioShock, because I have played it a couple of times. And I mean, the same thing as I said last week, and it's a pretty game. The HD remaster really brings a new level of interesting, aesthetic to the table.
Yeah.
And it's great story. So despite me constantly having to go back and replay, I'll still get through it eventually.
A patch is coming according to 2K very soon, so hopefully you won't have to deal with that for too long.
I really hope so, because it is a bit annoying, especially when you save after fighting 2 big daddies, and then you go back and you have to fight them over again. Other than that, I think the only other thing I've been playing is World of Warcraft, so not a lot to add to there.
The fight continues.
The fight continues. Oh, and I also played Street Fighter, which had an update.
For Urien.
Kill. Crush.
Do you like that character?
Aegis Reflector. So, I really, I don't know why. Whenever I play fighting games, I always gravitate to the evil characters. Except for in Street Fighter. Well, no, still in Street Fighter.
You went gung-ho on, what's it called, Poison Man.
Fang, yeah.
Fang.
Fang was the first one that I picked up, and he's definitely an evil character. But in Street Fighter 4, I mean, the only real bad character I would play was Poison. And that's because Poison isn't even that evil
character.
Yeah.
She's just a kind of...
She's her own, she's her own entity. She does what she wants. But yeah, so Urien is definitely an evil character, definitively, and he appeared in Street Fighter 2nd Impact and Third Strike.
So it's been a while since
it's been a while. Yes, it's been a very long time since he's had any limelight. And he's fun. I mean, I really like him. I know a lot of people. And some of the more pro people are saying that he's a very hard to use character, and without a doubt, he's a very technical character, and he doesn't do a lot of damage.
His damage scaling is jacked up.
Yeah, it's bad. But the thing is that the Capcom Pro Tour is going to be over soon, which means that they can finally go into the game and start changing things. Which will be, I believe they will do, because right now Chun-Li is S rank, and there's no other character who is at the same level as Chun-Li. Ooh. Chun-Li is right now the top, and she needs to be nerfed. But what I would really like is for them to keep Chun-Li at her insane power level, and then bring everybody else up.
To her. That would be amazing.
Yes, that would be great.
But it'd be so much more work.
Yeah, that's
And
the only thing. Like,
people are just gonna nerf the crap out of her, and then look at who's the next S rank, and then nerf that.
It's
This is like a very complicated process.
It's a complicated process. Like I've discussed this at length before, but as I'll just reiterate that I understand why they can't do that, because it would take a lot of money. It would take a lot more money to bring everybody else up than it would to bring one character down. And there are some characters that really need like damage rebalancing and maybe some tools taken away, or some people need to have tools added. But yeah, I'm really hoping that with the end of Capcom Pro Tour they'll address some of the issues.
So is Urien the last character that they're going to add overall, or like for the year?
They keep saying season, right? They said that Urien is the last character for the first season.
So they will be,
and they have alluded that they're not going to make a Street Fighter V Super. They're not going to make an Ultra Street Fighter V.
is going to be a platform.
It's gonna
which is very smart.
Should they just keep that, keep it how it is? I am thinking that there's going to be a next season of characters.
And what would be a character you would like to see come back?
I mean, I want Q.
Okay.
I don't know who you know who Q is.
You've shown me a video of that guy that you guys like to watch.
Yeah,
Maximilian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's the dude in the trench coat, right?
Yeah, he has a trench coat and he's wearing a mask.
Yeah, the last game he was in was Third Strike.
Yeah,
yes.
which is the same time as Urien.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So I would like Q. I'd like Dudley to come back.
Dudley would be nice.
I mean, I'd like... Poison is technically in the game, but she's not a playable character. The Poison is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? There's quite a few characters who I like to see. Like, Hugo's fun. I'd like to see Evil Ryu and Akuma. Everybody wants Akuma to be back.
Akuma's busy in Tekken 7.
He's busy being in Tekken 7 right now.
Do you think that's a character they would absolutely have to bring back?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, like he's a mainstay.
He's a staple.
I'd say he's big to the story, but not to Street Fighter V's story. He's big to the overarching...
Well, I mean, like...
Freaking overcome Yusatsu Inohado.
But technically, Third Strike is the last one in the timeline. And Akuma is in Third Strike, so it makes sense that he'd be in 5, since he was also in 4. There are a couple of characters that are interesting that I'd like to see come back, such as Oro.
Cool if there's like a small bonus story season 2 or something, and you had what was Oro doing during this whole thing?
During the absence
what
of the
was Akuma
story?
doing?
That could be really
obviously Akuma was busy in Tekken 7, but what was Q doing when all of this was happening?
It's a lot of backstory.
That'd be nice.
For that character in particular.
That's all that story. The story is like a nice 3-hour movie, pretty much.
I think despite their rocky launch, it seems like you saying that you want to treat it as a platform instead of a singular game is a very smart idea, and that just like a lot of games these days, the game gets better with age.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that they just keep making it better and better.
And that is important.
They basically do what KI is doing.
Well, I have basically just been playing BioShock, which I've already talked about to length. I finally finished BioShock 1 again, which is just overall, I'm reiterating at this point, but it's just as good as the first time I ever played it, which is great. Which is something that's in a remaster usually hard to find, because I've played remasters of other games before and think, this is not exactly how I imagined it, how I remember playing it the first time. It has aged. BioShock hasn't aged terribly. So far so good. I did start BioShock 2. Talked about this last night with Capello, but mechanically it's a superior game. I like that you can dual wield plasmid and weapon. The rivet gun's really cool. I like the drill dash thing is really cool too. The narrative is not as prolific as the first game, but I do like the whole thing about, that instead of just killing, because not only do you have to kill the Big Daddy to grab a little sister, then you have to take her. Then you have to do his job, which is very cool. Which after a while, it does get repetitive. But I mean, you're doing it for a reason. There's obviously you're trying to get Adam. So at this point, like I told you yesterday, I don't remember anything about BioShock 2. And that's because I played it 2 more times than I did the original BioShock. because of the trophies. So I'm interested to see how the rest of the game goes. Also, I think I mentioned either yesterday or today, Sinclair is probably my favorite character so far in the game. Interesting Southern man who owned a hotel, the Sinclair Deluxe in Rapture. They got fucked over by everything. By everything, basically.
What didn't fuck anything?
I mean, yeah, basically.
You
know what's interesting though, and I know that this is a second game, and Ken Levine didn't write it, but I think about because during the when you hear audio diaries from Andrew Ryan, and he talks about characters in this game like Sophia Lamb, who is I guess the antagonist of the game, and he talks about Sinclair, and it's like I don't know, it definitely feels like a lot of the story was shoved in to the lore of the game because, well, why didn't he mention these characters in the first game?
Yeah, in the last one.
Like none of these characters were ever mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. If anything, it is cool to go back into that world, but we discussed it yesterday too, where if 2K has come out and said like, hey, BioShock is a permanent franchise and they plan to continue at some point, we pretty much had a headache last night trying to figure out what the fuck they would do next. Because if they did space, it would be System Shock, and that game already exists. But yeah, they took the best two settings, the sky and the water.
Under the water.
Yeah. So, if anything, I'm actually really looking forward to playing Infinite again, because I don't remember half of that game. Even though it's definitely more fresh in my mind because it came out in 2013. But I never got to finish Burial at Sea. Well, I played the first episode, didn't finish the second episode. So I know that one was considerably better than the first. So it's just cool revisiting those games, man. Games that deserve, at least the first game that definitely deserves a remaster. Real quick question. What's a game that you want remastered? That you think deserves a remaster?
Chrono Trigger.
Okay. But like full 3D or...
I'd like the Final Fantasy VII treatment.
Okay, cool.
That would have been nice.
As long as it doesn't take for fucking ever.
As long as they don't split it into 3 fucking episodes.
God, no, don't do that for the love of God. Benny?
Not sure.
Think about that for a little bit.
I honestly don't know. I'm drawing blanks right now. Fable?
Well, I mean, the anniversary is technically a remaster.
This sort of has a remaster,
yeah.
Or like a reimagining of Fable.
But
that wouldn't be a remaster at that point. Yeah, Lionhead is dead.
Lionhead is dead.
I would like to see GTA Vice City remastered in the GTA 5 engine. Because GTA Vice City was like, I think it's the most prolific one. Because it stands out because of the color and the neon of Miami, which is, technically Vice City. But there was a mod that came out last year of this guy basically making Vice City in the GTA 5 engine. And it looked fucking awesome. Yeah. Like I remember he was, like, it was like, AI was not in the game, it was just the city and cars, and he was with Franklin driving from one island to the next island, and I'm looking at it, I was like, holy shit, that is exactly where it should be, this is exactly where it should be, he nailed it. But I don't know if it was ever released. Maybe he's still working on it, because according to the video that I saw, and the description, that he was going to recreate every mission in the game for it, which is, I mean, it's not a massive game if you think about it, considering that it came out on the PS2, but there's a lot going on there. Oblivion, talked about yesterday too.
Yeah.
I think it's old enough that it deserves the, well, you know what, it definitely doesn't hold up, but I guess maybe Morrowind, because that one definitely doesn't hold up today.
I mean, Skywind is coming out.
That's true. So yeah, make it Oblivion. I like Oblivion enough. All right, Benny, did you figure one out? Did you figure one out that you wanted remastered?
Metal Slug. Oof. The thing is, how
like in 3D?
No, be Metal Slug done by the guys that did Guilty Gear, where they're just very fine,
super nice,
very good 3D things. But from the side view, and it makes it look
3D art.
And like you get in a Metal Slug, and if you want, you change the camera view to like that, and you jump to dodge bullets and shoot.
That'd be interesting.
Oh man, I can't imagine what they do with bosses and stuff. Because the bosses in Metal Slug are always over the top, giant crabs with a tank on the back. And
I miss playing Metal Slug. That's a bad.
Some bambos everywhere.
Is Metal Slug on PC?
I think there's like 1 and Steam? 2, but they're separate pieces.
Ooh, Earthbound.
Like
get the Final Fantasy treatment. So I think it deserves
that would have been nice.
Yeah, it would be fucking awesome. Well, yes, it probably would be, because they have the material that they would need to make that.
Yeah,
split it into 3 episodes.
Oh, please, no. Make it one game.
Hey, you said you wanted the Final Fantasy VII treatment, right?
I can't.
What's the matter? Right. You wanted the treatment, right?
All right.
So it's more like you want the Metroid Prime treatment.
There you go. He knows what I'm talking about.
And then you split that into 3 episodes.
But aside from that, I've been... Well, I got a copy of Dragon Age, which I think I might have mentioned last week. I haven't played it yet. I've installed it. That's about it.
One step closer to getting to it.
One step closer to getting it. And I updated it, too. Because there was like a 5 gig update. So probably for stability, which is fine. Which is the game... I remember when I played it originally, there was a lot of problems with that game. So I'm glad I got that. And that's it. Just BioShock. That's all I've been playing. I've been kind of doing other stuff this week, so not a lot of gaming, surprisingly. Also, BioShock 1 is a lot longer than I remember it, too, which is fine. In a time where shooters are nowadays becoming like 8-hour affairs, and then you jump into the multiplayer, it's kind of cool that game still is still very long. And if anything, it makes me excited for Dishonored 2, more so than it was before, because Dishonored 2 definitely is inspired by BioShock in a lot of ways. But yeah.
There are 2 games that I definitely need to go back to. Dragon Age, and maybe get out of that one place.
The Hinterlands?
The Hinterlands.
Yeah, don't spend too much time in there.
And the other one, I forgot what the name of it was, but it's you're in New York and there's a...
New York?
Yeah.
Division?
The Division.
Oof.
I started it and I just...
Oh, that's right. Yeah. There's a... So I guess one news item that it didn't add is that there's like a major update coming later in the year that's going to make it feel like a good shooter, because...
Make it feel like a good shooter.
Yeah, because, I mean, even according to people that have played it, and I played the beta, the shooting wasn't as good as it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't feel very good, you know? Alright, well, let's finish with...
Well, let's go into just a quick little break.
Oh, okay.
So that I can appease the machine spirit in my pocket. And
you're gonna throw grave clod dirt at it.
Enjoy the bits of music while we...
Yes.
What is technically the last Metal Gear? It's 4, right? Guns of the Patriot?
Well, Patriot is supposed to be.
Technically, it's Revengeance.
Revengeance, but Revengeance isn't a...
It's not.
It is a Metal Gear, but it's not a...
It's about Raiden.
It doesn't have boss or liquid or... Yeah, it's about Raiden.
It's out of that timeline.
And it's way the fuck later.
So technically 4. Yeah, technically 4 is the last in the timeline.
But Rising had happening fucking music and pretty damn cool boss fights. That fight in the desert with Jetstream and Sam, it's fucking top
It's a
notch.
good fight.
It's top fucking notch.
You need to get the soundtrack for Rising.
There will be blood.
I think the special edition had the... Do you remember the special edition for that? For Revengeance? It was like his... Raiden's sword or arm, like in a lightning kind of, it was like a lamp. Super cool.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, I didn't buy it, because I think the day that came out, like 3 other games came out, and I bought all of them. I think it was like that, Crysis 3, which is a terrible game, and another game. And I didn't buy it, but the next day when I came into work, so many people were trying to return it because it was broken. And so they had like...
What, the lamp was broken?
The lamp was broken, so it was a mass defect.
That sucks.
I think like maybe very few of them that got shipped were actually working, so yeah.
Well, was there like a chance you could like open it and fandangle with it? And...
Don't know. I don't know. I didn't read
look
into it.
That sounds real cool.
Pretty sure that's not a hard item to find, but maybe a working one would be hard to find.
Probably.
Even then, like the thing looked cool regardless of whether you turn on or not. So now we're going to finish, like we always do, with Steaming reviews. This week we have 6 games, 6 reviews. Very short. And you know what I've noticed? Go ahead.
We went back to 2 hour.
No, you're kidding.
We're 155 right now.
Okay. Well.
Yeah!
We did talk a lot about...
Destiny?
About Destiny. Yeah, you spent a good time. Which is fine. It's fascinating talking about that game, regardless of whether I played or not.
One of these days, we should make a game thing called I Don't Wanna. We just play things that we don't want to play.
Destiny.
And it's gonna be Todd playing Destiny, Todd playing Smite, Todd playing...
Why is it all me? I'm gonna get Capella to play FIFA 17 The Journey.
Well, remember, we were saying this, that at one point we were gonna do stuff where, like, you're gonna make him... Well, we were gonna teach each other how to...
Yes. Because the training series is not exclusive to me, my friend.
Yeah. We never said it was supposed to be exclusive, but a lot of them involves you.
Yes, I know it does. Because I'm very vanilla on everything.
Oh, so fun.
So let me tell you something about Steam reviews, man. I spent like hours on Thursday night looking for stuff, and you know what? Yeah, the funny reviews are just funny, but a lot of them just aren't even reviews, man. They're just bullshit.
So some of them just put random fucking...
Yeah, I think at some point I read a cheesecake recipe.
That is amazing.
Yes.
A cheesecake.
To
Yeah, no
look
lie.
for a game review and just find a cheesecake recipe.
So imagine I use one of those. And you're just like, what the fuck? I don't know what fucking game this is. You're talking about
Shit,
cheese.
Cooking Mama? I
There
don't
you
know.
go. Yeah, right. So I think for the future, it's going to be a lot. It's becoming a lot harder for me to find something more or less usable because there are hundreds of thousands per game.
Yeah.
It's fun though to go through them and find stupid shit
You
like
could
recipes.
do repeats also. Like I'm more
Games?
than sure there's some.
there's a ton of them. Like
some
especially for like Skyrim and stuff like that. There's a ton of them. But all right, let's get into it before we go any further in our 2-hour escapade here. All right, the first game recommend. I almost said the name of the fucking game. Recommended at 10.3 hours on record, and posted September 4th of this year, and it reads simply. This game is about a guy that fights his depression by killing more people than the Spanish flu.
Hatred.
No, that's a good answer though.
Pretty good one.
This game is about a guy that fights his depression by killing more people than the Spanish flu. So I'll give you a hint because I don't know if any of you have actually played this game. It is a shooter.
Is it a? Oh, okay, it's a shooter.
It is a shooter. Think about keyword depression.
Hive.
Hive. What's that?
I don't know. It's like some dude that has a super suit and he uses like honey or something like that.
Okay.
Quote unquote. It's like a super serum.
Is this
It's a
real?
bunch of dope. Yeah.
Like a real game?
I don't remember the name of the game, but
Okay.
Man kills his depression by killing more.
Kills his depression.
Kills his depression. Fights his depression by killing more people than the Spanish flu.
Max Payne.
That's
a good one.
That
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Because he is massively depressed in all of his
In all
games.
3.
Yes.
3,
Especially-
right? Yeah, 3.
Yeah, it's 3 games. I really like that third game. It's fucking good.
I remember 1 and 2, and I think I remember bits of 3, but not complete.
3 is a more recent one.
I remember something about a piano. When he plays the theme. But he plays it all shitty, and you,
yes.
you run through different places, and by the 4th time, he plays his theme perfectly.
Yeah. The third game is basically, do you remember the movie Man on Fire? With Denzel Washington, where he saves Dakota Fanning?
Yeah.
It's basically that. Except, it's basically that game. Except instead of Denzel Washington, it's a white guy that likes to take painkillers as a snack in midday.
Now I'm on painkillers like Tic Tacs.
Yeah, basically. And it's funny, I bought this. Well, there's the statue.
There he is.
But the special edition not only came with the statue.
He should be holding a bottle of painkillers, not an Uzi.
Actually, on the bottom, like on the floor, on the base of the statue,
They're
there's
little.
like bullet casings,
Yeah.
and for the longest time, I legit thought they were like little pills or something.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I should just paint them white, little white pills.
You should buy like tiny little painkiller
Oh,
bottles and
there
put
you
them
go.
everywhere.
And that's he needs a Halloween get up too.
Yeah.
But I'm going to quickly say that okay, so the special edition not only came with that, it came with a bullet keychain, which was really cool, but it was one of those twist-off ones, so I lost it like this. But it also came with 3 lithographs. And instead of it being of characters or interesting design, it was literally 1 is a gun, 2 is a syringe, and 3 is a pill
Bottle of pills.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have them somewhere, but I thought, I'm never going to fucking put these up on a wall.
They're rather tasteless.
Yeah, they're kind of tasteless in truth. But anyways, moving on. The next game is recommended at 17.2 hours on record and posted February 3rd of this year, and it reads, This game taught me to beat children to make them respect me.
Jeez.
Tell me to beat children to make them respect
This game
me.
taught me to beat children to make them respect me.
Metal Gear 5.
No. Fuck. God no. Even though you technically do beat children in that game.
Some.
Yeah.
Not all. Just
Fuckface
specifically.
in the ship, in the boat, I forgot his name. You know what I'm talking about. The
Yeah.
kid. Yeah.
Skyrim.
No. You can't even touch kids in this
White
game.
Mamba.
White Mamba, no. This game taught me to beat children to make them respect me. I think if you guys don't get it, I tell you, you're gonna be like, should have gotten that one.
How about a hint? Because this one feels.
Okay.
Minecraft.
It is an open world game.
Minecraft.
No. It does have a narrative. It's a bit older. It's not of this generation. It's during the PS3. Well, no, technically, it came out on PS2, Wii, PS3, Xbox 360.
It's like Red Dead Redemption?
No. No, Red Dead Redemption didn't come out on the Wii.
Did it not?
On the Wii?
I could have sworn it
Red
was.
Dead?
Yeah.
No. There's a couple of Rockstar games that did come to the Wii, but not that one.
You don't beat kids in Fable.
Bully.
Yes. Bully.
Okay.
Yeah.
You yourself are a kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really liked Bully. It was definitely very different from anything that...
I remember seeing Danny play Bully, but I myself didn't play it.
I like it. It's a fun game.
It's like a GTA, but toned down.
Mm-hmm.
It's still M-rated, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot of suggestive stuff in there. But I remember the controversy that they took it to the Supreme Court.
Did
they? And the judge played the game. And it's funny because obviously there's no cameras in the court, but the report from it was that the judge played it and he was laughing while he was playing it. And then he looked over to the person, like the accusers, and they're like, "This is just mischief." And then
Mm-hmm.
And at the same, they kind of just let it go. I think at this point, it's safe to say that if anyone comes up against Rockstar, they're probably going to win. Which they did recently. We talked about it with Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Becoming relevant for like a split second again. Anyways, yes, it was Bully, which I recommend. It's a cool game.
Yeah.
It's very different from anything GTA. Also, the soundtrack is really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next game, which I'll be interested to see who gets this first, is recommended at 25.9 hours on record and posted May 5th of last year, and reads, Anime OVA? Or OVA? Do you guys know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes. That comes with a bonus fighting game.
Guilty Gear.
Yes.
Sign and not Revelator. You'll never get Revelator.
I want Revelator so bad on PC.
Everyone, when I went into that review section, that's like half of the reviews were like, "Why isn't Revelator here?"
Revelator here.
All right.
Also, we should really do the story for Revelator. We never touched it.
We never did.
Revelator, even Sign. We need both.
You haven't finished the stories for those?
No.
Damn, you guys spent too much time in the multiplayer.
That's what we
That's
did.
what you do, yeah.
We bought it and then just went straight into multiplayer.
Alright, so before we continue, Benny, you have one, Capello has two. 3 more. Recommended at 33.9 hours on record and posted August 26th of last year and reads, this game is exactly like PE. Like school PE. No one ever passes to me. I get yelled at. Everyone pushes me around.
Sports game.
It is a sports game.
FIFA 17, no. FIFA 15.
Blood Bowl.
FIFA 16, FIFA 14.
It's not a FIFA game.
FIFA
13. It's like Madden.
Nope. Exactly. This game is exactly like school PE. Nobody ever passes to me. I get yelled at. Everyone pushes me around.
Is it a sports game?
It is a sports game.
Okay.
A sports game that's on Steam. Now remember, if you're thinking Madden or FIFA, none of those come to Steam because they're EA games. So
that's true. Yeah.
So it's not one of those.
NBA 2K16.
No. Oh, that's true. That's not a EA game. But no, it's not. It's not an NBA game.
Supersonic something. Fuck! What is it called?
Supersonic. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm thinking of the original name of the fucking thing. It's I don't know the name right now, but I know the game.
Do you?
Well, yes, but if I give out the description, Capello will pick up the name.
It is a sports game.
Something League.
Sorts.
Turbo League.
Lethal League?
No. It's the car one. Something League. Fucking RC cars.
RC cars.
You have to tell me the title for you to get it. You're close.
I know it.
Look it up.
I know it.
Don't cheat.
But I know it.
You played it.
I've played it. It's like Turbo League or Jet League or fucking Nitro League.
This is fucking incredible. The basic word for everything you just said didn't come to your head first.
Aha! It's League, right? It's something League.
Yes, it is something League. But I'm only going to give it to you if you tell me the title. I'm giving you 20
You know this! I know this!
I know.
I don't know how anyone forgot this.
It's just the name.
I guess. I haven't played it in
Do you know the original name? Because that was it once it was re-released.
Yes, it is a re-release.
It was Supersonic something Avioid Car something.
Something like that, yeah.
Car League. Soccer League.
Fuck me.
Soccer
no one's
League.
gonna get this one then.
No!
Just give us a second.
Let me fucking...
Okay, alright. No, you can't look it up, Benny. It's cheating.
I'm not gonna look
Bullshit.
it up.
That's what are you doing for you? You're calling your mom or what?
Lethal League.
I said Lethal
Nitro
League.
Car League. Pass League.
Oh, my face hurts.
RC League.
Oh, fuck. What
Twisted
is it?
Metal League. I know there's a Twisted Metal. There's a Sweet Tooth in there.
There is. You have the game. But
Yes, I know the game, and I know that you know that I know the game, but I don't know the full title, and it's something League. Why don't you give a hint? Give the first letter. Give the first letter of the title.
Okay, no, I'll give you the last letter.
No, because we already know it's League.
No, the last letter of the first word.
No, give me the first letter of the first word.
R.
Race League?
Wow!
That's the first
Rocket
one?
League, there we
Rocket
go.
League.
Jesus Christ.
Rocket
Turbo.
League.
All these other words. That you couldn't think of.
Everything but
Nitro.
Rocket. I don't know why Rocket wouldn't come into my head either. It's weird.
Wow.
Like, I know that game, and we played it.
I can imagine, like, if Mikey was here, if Mikey hears this a week from now, he's probably going to be screaming and screaming.
And that's the thing, like, a lot of the times I have a clear image in my mind, but I forget the words that go to the image.
Yeah.
And I always start Capello, what's that thing with this and this and this and this?
I really want to correct them, or to pronounce it, but for some reason Rocket wouldn't come into my head.
That's fascinating.
It's weird.
Goddamn
Alright.
Rocket fucking League.
Well, now you guys are tied.
Okay.
2 more. Let's get through this as quickly as we can. Recommended at 8.8 hours on record and posted May 2nd of this year and reads, not made by Blizzard, but has co-op.
Not made by Blizzard, but has co-op.
Smite.
Dota.
There is not co-op. Well, I mean, technically.
Technically. Huh.
It's a little more vague.
Not made by... Well, there's a lot of
Is
things.
this an RTS? Is it a shooter? What is it?
It's like, Torchlight?
No.
Torchlight 2?
Even
No.
Torchlight 2 was pretty good.
It is not a MOBA. It is not a strategy game. It is not a Diablo-esque game either.
Overwatch is definitely by
Overwatch
Blizzard.
is made by Blizzard, yes.
that Chinese ripoff of Overwatch.
The Chinese ripoff of Overwatch.
Yeah, you
Apparently
haven't
that
seen
was
it?
a hardcore
That thing is
Chinese.
No.
blatant.
Is it like released?
Yeah, in China.
No shit.
It's like literally they get Tracer and then they put lipstick on her. It's like, there, she's not Tracer.
Wow. Okay. Let's see how long that lasts.
Like TF2.
Ooh.
No, but it's somewhere in that realm of hero-based shooters.
Battleborn.
Yes.
Damn.
A lot of the reviews were like, it's alright. But it's not Overwatch.
Well, that's the thing, though. That game is technically all right, but
yeah.
it released next to Overwatch, which had movies pushing it.
Yeah, well, it's a Blizzard game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that
Like
game.
there was even a thing where go into the movie theater and watch all the trailers smashed together, and they give you a free cup and a code for something.
For
wasn't
Battleborn?
it? No, for Blizzard.
Overwatch. I don't remember that. I probably wasn't going to watch movies during that time. That's crazy.
It wasn't down here. We don't get shit like that.
Probably just an AMC
Or do
theaters
we?
or something.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, last one. This is a game that's a little older. Recommended with 11.8 hours on record and posted January 1st of last year and reads, I got beheaded so that my friend could get laid. 10 out of 10. Would wingman again.
I could be headed so my best friend could get laid.
Stubbs the zombie.
No.
That's an old ass call.
This is not that old. This is 360 era. It's just definitely an older game.
Huh. Assassin's Creed Unity.
No.
It's a good one. I'm not sure. Beheaded.
Also, Unity didn't come out on 360.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
No.
Damn.
It is. I'll give you a hint. It is a side scroller of sorts.
Beheaded.
Also, I think beheaded is an exaggeration. Basically, you get killed by someone who's playing the game with you, so they can get laid. Beheaded is probably an exaggeration. Also, I don't
Castle
remember.
Crashers.
Yes.
They don't get laid though. They just win the princes.
I know, but come on, it's Steam.
It's okay. It's okay.
We're 4 and 3 then.
Did you guys ever see the twist at the very end of that game?
I never finished that game.
Oh,
Unfortunately, because I bought it with my friend Kristen, and we never finished it together.
did you played it, fellow? I played it with I think Mikey and Danny.
I played a little bit of Castle Crashers.
So at the very end, you fight for the last princess. The last princess is a clown. She removes the thing and it's a clown. That yay! But the last princess is the one that everyone fights the hardest for, and then it's a clown. Congratulations!
That game was so colorful when it came out.
It was fun, man.
I fucking loved every second of it. I never finished it, but
Behemoth, right?
It's a big game, yeah. Which is one of
They
the
do
best games.
They do good jobs, dude. Alien Hominid,
Fuck yeah, Alien Hominid is great.
Yeah,
man, that's an old
that's
game.
what I can't wait for. What was it, Game 51 or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whenever that happens.
Whenever they actually put a name, or are they staying with 51?
No, they'll probably put an actual name to it.
So in this round,
Stamper's gonna be all up in that.
In this round, Benny takes the cake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I will add up the tally. I still have all the records, everything, all of this. Next week,
the banana.
Next week, I will come up hopefully with a better list of reviews. I just need to dig deeper and deeper and deeper. Because that is an abyss. The hole is real.
I believe you.
Yes, please believe me. All right, we're done today. We got back to the 2-hour mark.
I wonder what would you find if Destiny went on Steam. And what would the reviews be?
I think the easiest one would be probably hey, thanks.
Things are on the moon.
No, thanks console peasants for beta testing this game. That's what a bunch of GTA 5 reviews are thanks console peasants for beta testing.
Beta testing.
Because to be fair, the PC version is best.
Sometimes.
GTA. Well, most.
They do get shit fucking ports every now and then.
Absolutely, we talked about that last night.
Yeah.
They didn't get a shit. I think it really
Tokiden?
It really dug in deep though with Arkham Knight, and then it kind of went downhill from there. Quantum Break had a pretty terrible port.
Tokiden.
MKX,
Kombat.
yeah, MKX had a terrible port.
Up till recently, they were releasing the fixing patch for it.
NetherRealm decided to work on MKXL themselves for the PC version instead of giving it to another studio.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because they don't want. That's what happened with Rocksteady, and they give it. They had you know who did the port for Arkham Knight? The guys who now do Killer Insect.
Iron Galaxy, really?
Iron Galaxy did the port.
Wow.
Which is, I don't really know their studio too well, but that seems like a really weird studio to go to for this massive open world game. Of course, porting a job is not it's not like making a game from scratch, but still, they probably should have gone to somebody else, in my opinion.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyways,
what is the best description for porting? Being given notes and then you have to copy them, but write them in a different language.
Okay, that's probably a good.
These are my notes, right?
Yeah.
But you need to write them down in Spanish.
Yeah,
here,
something like that. Yeah.
Fuck.
Also, a lot of ports are not optimized for PC.
True.
Which is why doing it in-house is the better way to go. Which is that's what these guys are doing for Gears of War 4.
Mm-hmm.
That they're not porting it; they're doing it in house, and which they said they built for the ground up for PC anyways, which is fucking great because that's what I want from first party Microsoft stuff. So yeah, we're done. It is over. We're at 2 hours.
2 hours 17 minutes.
Not terrible. We talked a lot at the beginning about Candy and Brujas.
It's probably added like 30 minutes.
Probably.
Oh, spooky hours.
The Jesus.
Hey man, after watching The Fourth Kind, I think I'm scared of shit as well.
Extra spooky hours.
Those owls have fucking massive eyes looking into your soul, man. Alright. Have a good week. Adios.
Goodbye.
Later,
Bye.